Where are we going?
See the Dr. Horrible Sing-along at the Paley Center in a snowstorm. I wish the Buffy Sing-along would come back. I really
we had a great. Honestly, I wish we'd went again before it was closed.
Well, I hired a lawyer who was looking into like making it legal and he talked to some higher ups at Fox.
Yeah.
And said that they loved the sing-along, they loved the concept, and they loved that it was popular, but that until they could figure out what was going on with SAG, they really just couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
we went to the Thanksgiving one because we saw Pangs before it. That's the one we went to.
Yeah, that was great.
And I didn't know we were going to see. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know we were going to see another episode, which made it even better. Did you do that on every show?
Some show I did different things every show. I always consider it to be an evolving concept.
Right.
Partly because I had to do it every time, so I wanted it to be a little different, a little fun. Right. And partly because I was kind of hoping that a lot of the same people would be coming back, so I wanted to give them something different at the time. So depending on when the show was, we themed it differently. Like around Buffy's birthday in February, we did a birthday episode and celebrated her birthday. Yes, we did show up.
Well, which one's good?
She never gets a happy birthday.
No.
One time you get trapped in the house.
No, I did a whole montage of unhappy birthday moments.
Oh, that's great.
And then we showed Helpless.
It's great.
Great.
Of course, we did amends around Christmas time, and we did the Thanksgiving episode. And then we would just try to pull out favorites that people liked and show them. But sometimes I would do the game show thing beforehand, which would be like a half an hour of activities, and then I wouldn't show a second episode.
Right.
Because we started at midnight. I didn't want people to get out at 4 in the morning.
Right.
I was a film programmer. I ran the Coolidge Corner Theater in Brooklyn, and we played art house films, and then I did special programs with my. So I would do like Monday night special events, or I would do midnight movies, and I found that if you just showed a movie, you couldn't really get people to come, even if it was something they loved. But if you showed a movie and did something really weird with it, like if you showed Lost Boys and had like a singing chorus of vampires beforehand, people would come out.
Did you do that?
Yes. Well, you know, my favorite thing about doing the sing-along shows, and one of the things I loved about doing Buffy, is seeing it with a group of people that know the show and love it,
Right.
and laugh at all the jokes, and shout out their favorite lines,
Right.
and like the guy who yelled like "you bastard Jones."
Yeah.
That's me.
You know, stuff like that.
I think you should add that to the show.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to ever do anything like that again because the Shut Up Dawn thing was such a controversy.
Yeah, talk to us about that.
Well, that started because the very first Buffy show I did, people in the audience were just randomly yelling that, like throughout the entire show.
So you didn't start.
I didn't start doing that, and it got
be popular.
That's a television. So, some people absolutely despise her. But,
I liked her in The Ice Princess. She was great in that.
I think she's great as a centaur, but that's, you know.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a popular thing. The Shut Up Dawn caught.
Well, what happened is I had to, there was one show I actually had to, and this was in Boston, I had to stop the show because people were yelling so much and so loud, and they were getting really douchey about it, you know? I had to actually stop the show and be like, okay, everybody just together at once, really loud, shut up.
Thank you.
Okay, shut up for the rest of the show.
Right. Get it out.
You know, and part of it was I was really protective of the Buffy Sing-along. I really didn't want it to turn into Rocky Horror.
Right.
In the sense that, like, I love Rocky Horror, but I hate, like, yelling asshole and slut and friend. I hate how mean it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it doesn't really suit, like, what Buffy is.
Right. And the Buffy musical episode wasn't bad. It was amazing.
Right.
So it's not like you need to be making fun of it. So, because of that, I decided to incorporate it into the instructions so that it happened just at certain moments. And that way it was, it's sort of to control the audience and, you know, not have people sort of going crazy through the whole show. And also at the show here in New York City, we had, she was here too, Megan, who was our Dawn.
I saw her.
Was so cute.
Right.
And she would get up and actually hold up a cue card that said "Shut Up Dawn," and you would yell at her and she would sort of cry. you know, which was perfect.
Right.
Sort of a misunderstanding a lot of people have too. Like, I explained how the Shut Up Duncan came about, and then I was slowly phasing it out. I was using, you know, when I had a cast member there doing it, it had a totally different vibe than when I was on the road and people would just go crazy.
Well, that was your intent.
Yeah, so I sort of started taking it out, especially after Joss told me himself that it hurt his feelings. And I was like,
of course you're not
I'm
gonna
trying to hurt your feelings. I love you.
He said that, really?
He said it in front of the audience at the LA Film Festival. Like, the first thing he said was, "What's wrong with Dawn?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry."
But Dr. Horrible's phenomenal.
Did you watch Dr. Horrible in succession with the breaks?
Yeah, as it was coming out.
Yeah, so did we, and I think that makes a difference.
It did.
You're watching, you're like, this is hysterical, and then you get to the end, and me and Sarah
Well, I remember
Each
I
other
watched.
lay.
I remember I watched the first episode and I liked it, but I thought it was a little slow, and I was like, oh, I wonder if
That's exactly how I felt.
And
Sorry
then
to
the second
interrupt.
episode, I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the third episode, I was just
like, what just
devastated.
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, because for a second it's like you forgot Joss was writing it.
Right.
And you were
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's that guy.
Right.
Now, see, I'm itching to do this in like a real, like a big theater.
Yeah, for sure.
Because something about like, I think one of the best Buffy Sing-along shows I did was in Chicago. It was in a 2,000-seat theater, and we filled the theater.
How loud.
It was insane.
That is fun.
And that is such a like an aphrodisiac. Well, maybe that's not the right word. But like at the end of one of those shows, I would be so high. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
that's
love it.
It's great.
And it was never about me. It was all about, you know, they were yelling at the screen at the show.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Great show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry to
again.
interrupt.
I can't reach you, but
Come by.
Thanks to all the readings.
cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Give me peanuts.